if you want to meet Devi, as soon as you wake up, imagine that you are Vishnu. But there is nothing called Mukti, Moksha, etc. That happens when you're alive. Shiva is the only reality. Reach across a river called Vaitharni, which is made of Shiva's tears. Because Kubera and Lakshmi got broke. Then Swarnabhairav gives them money. Kali is made of two tamasic Devis.
I don't know that I am jealous inside. That is Kali.
Yeah. One of the mantras which please Kali a lot is the mantra called... The intention is everything. It's more powerful than any breach mantra. The second world is the opening of the vagina, and the third world is the opening of the womb. You can reset time, you can shrink time, you can expand time, you can do all sorts of stuff.
But none of the Devi avatars were born out of a mother. So these 9 days represent
the journey of the Kundalini.
Welcome, Guruji.
Thank
Back.
you, Mashu.
It is such a pleasure talking to you again. I'm so grateful that I get to talk to you.
I'm so glad you came here. This is great.
Yeah, and this is like such a nice place, Rishikesh, and we get all that vibes already in Navratris.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and last time we spoke a lot about and triggered a lot of people, I see. Triggered a lot of people.
Yeah, it's all good, man. I think it's good to stir people up, wake them up. Great idea.
Yeah, but I would like to start with asking about you this time. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Having the time of my life here, because I'm teaching some really advanced yoga here. It's called Yoga Nidra.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting to teach it for years, but nobody was ready. Now I got 37 people, so I'm really happy.
Right. Yoga Nidra is exactly what?
It's your ability to travel your states of consciousness at will, and also, you know the states of consciousness, right? There is Turyatit, Turya, Sushupti, and Swapna, and there's also Jagrat, which is the waking state. So there's a waking state, dream state. Sushupti is more like blissful unconsciousness, like how when you sleep, you're blissfully unconscious. And then there's the Turiya, which is a very strange state characterized only by a sense of self and nothing else.
Okay.
And then sense of self and of course other. So you start to feel there's an inside and an outside, but you don't know what. And then Turyatit is where there's nothing, just absolutely nothing. Okay. It's the state of consciousness in which Shiva is.
Wow.
So all of these states of consciousness come together to build our Jagrat consciousness or wakeful consciousness. But the wakeful consciousness has only part of the information. It's the tip of the iceberg. So when we do Yoga Nidra, we can get down deep into the iceberg and find out exactly why we are having certain experiences we are having when we're awake. Okay. When you have unanswered and unfinished stories, stories that have got no closure, and you don't know why it's happening. Why is one person rude to me? Why is this happening? Or why am I having so much bad luck? Or all of the questions people keep asking, when they do Yoga Nidra, they'll get their answers. So it's such a powerful modality for learning. And you can also, if you practice it, you can get to a level where you can just get in there, be conscious, astral travel, have lucid dreams of whatever choice you want. You can test out some idea that you have. Like say you're a marketer and you have an idea, you can test out that idea in your Yoga Nidra, see if it's working and come back with insights. So it's very cool. It's a very cool method. You can get the truth about things. If people are hiding things from you, you can find out.
Okay.
And so it's a very powerful tool that yogis use in order to keep themselves safe and without any problem.
Wow. But how do you, like you said, mentioned astral travel? So do you think about it, or do you go there? And if you go there, what goes there?
Well, with practice, you'll hit those frequencies where you can stabilize yourself in the state of Swapna, but in relation to Jagrat. So you can move around in the waking world itself, but in a dream.
Okay.
That means I can come to your house, see what you're eating, call you up and ask you, and I can tell you what you are eating. And you'll be like, what? So you can use that to be at several places and get information that has been eluding you. Yoga Nidra is a method that removes all questions hanging on you and can also solve all mysteries. Because people have said there's so many mysteries in the world. I don't think there's any mystery. If you know Yoga Nidra, you can go check it out yourself. And there's
Okay.
lots of stuff in Yoga
Yeah.
Nidra. I'm also teaching people how they create the universe in which they exist. It's simply our creation. There is no universe.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing. Even you and me don't really exist. Everything is nothing. But nothing builds up to all these things that we see, like these grass and this medicinal plants and all sorts of stuff around us is all created by us, but
Okay.
not in a Jagrut Avastha. So we don't remember it. It's
Okay.
created in a Sushupti Avastha. It can also be created in a Turiya Avastha.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we give rise to the whole world, and then we come and occupy one particular station to look at everything.
So does this mean that we are Vishnu?
We are not Vishnu, we are called Jiva. So the Linga Puran explains this very nicely. All Purans try to explain it, but I like the Linga Puran explanation very well.
Mm-hmm.
That there is something called Shiva, which is nothing. We don't even know what it is. Okay, there is no perception, no thought, no nothing. But from there comes two things: Purusha and Pramatha, which is Devi. So
Okay.
Devi and something called Purusha comes out. When Purusha comes out, then Devi releases 4 colors of light, which are the gunas. Red is Rajogun, which is the quality of activeness. It's called the quality of kings. Raja means from a king. The qualities of a king, which means it is very good for looking after a country, looking after a whole lot of stuff. All entrepreneurs have this gun.
Okay.
All Kshatriyas have this gun. Warriors have this gun. So Rajogun, and then that red light falls on Purusha and Brahma comes out.
Okay.
Then the white light falls on Purusha and Vishnu comes out, which is Sattvic Gun. Sattvic means the truth.
Okay.
So this is the gun for teachers. And because the teachers have to start with the truth. And they have to show people the truth of where they are, and really here's where you need to go, so this is what you'll have to do. They show people the mirror for the location, where are you. So that Sattvic Gun is very good for knowing where you stand. To say the truth about anything. Does this person really like me? Sattvic Gun can say yes or no, and it'll be true. But Rajogun can't recognize that. Rajogun will say what it wants. So I'll make them like me. It's a different attitude, right? And then there's the Tamasic Gun. She lets out black light, and that light is what forms Rudra. And Rudra is Tamasic. So Tamasic means dark. So all of the unconscious stuff that we do is Rudra. Everything that we are not aware of, but is there within us or within others, that's Rudra. So it's hiding.
Okay.
And then there is the colorless one, which is Nirgun, and that's called Maheshwar.
Shiva.
Shiva is the no
Okay.
form. Like no form, no gun, no nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, Nirakar, and just you can't talk about it because you don't know. That's the base of everything. So from
Right.
Shiva comes Devi, and Devi lets out these lights, and it falls on Purusha. Purusha is also formless, but it takes these 4 forms, and then these 4 all release one bija. So it's basically their sperm,
Right.
bija. So that combines and forms a single bija. That bija, for each bija, Devi releases one yoni.
Okay.
And the bija inside that yoni is still abstract, but it becomes us, the jiva.
Okay.
So we have both. We have a bija and a yoni both. We are that. And that is what then starts giving out the universe, because the jiva, which is us, creates something called a future and a past.
Right.
Kala. And then in that kala, it sprinkles different bijas, karma bijas, which grow into karma phala. A karma bija sprinkled in the past becomes a karma phala in the future. Even the present is just the flowering of the bijas which we have kept in the past. But this is an entirely, like I can never know you or your universe. You can never know my universe. We can never know. Although we can interact.
Yeah.
But it is your universe. The mountain here is created by you, also created by me. And we may agree on its shape, but it is definitely our own stuff.
Do you mean that, like, for example, if I'm seeing that mountain and I'm seeing Ganesha in it, and probably you're not seeing Ganesha, you're seeing trees. So that the universe, your universe is the trees and my universe is the Ganesha.
Correct. None of this exactly exists.
It's not
except in our mind, or what is called Karana, which is one. So the Jiva then creates 96 elements.
Okay.
One of which is mind. 4 of which are mind. Karana, which is the cause. So mind goes on causing karma bijas. And then the body, which is the Annamaya Kosha, and all the other koshas. The koshas are the coverings of the Jiva. The Jiva lives in the koshas. And it has created this whole universe, which is also within it. So that's why none of it actually exists. Because how can you be in a body and how can the whole universe also be in you? Right?
Right.
It's all like an illusion. It's an elaborate illusion. That's what we call Maya. So we're all Mayavis. We have made our own Maya. And if we get skilled at it, then we are yogis. If you don't get skilled at making a Maya, you're an unskilled Jiva, and you destroy your universe, and then you have to start again.
But these koshas that you mentioned, one is this, what we are seeing right
Annamaya Kosha. It's the food loving body.
The physical body.
Yeah.
That we can
Maya
touch
means
and
love,
feel.
and Anna is body. So
Okay.
it's a food loving body. It loves food. And it's made of food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And beyond this?
Beyond this is Pranamaya Kosha, the body that loves prana.
Okay.
And that is integrated with this body. If the Pranamaya Kosha goes out of the Annamaya Kosha, it falls apart. So the prana flow determines what is created as a physical body. Because it's all molecules, the prana tells the molecules how to act.
Yeah. Prana is not breath.
It's not breath. It's an energy field. Prana is a energy flux.
Yeah.
You know what a flux is, right? Like magnetic flux.
Magnetic flux.
Yeah, something like that. So it's an energy flux which is very dynamic, pulsating, and keeps moving. And it has pathways of movement, and those pathways are called nadis. All this belongs in the Pranamaya Kosha, the energy flux and its pathways. And that has a great effect on the body. And we can... the health of the body depends on the health of the pranic body. And then there is Manomaya Kosha, which means mind-loving body. And Manas is one part of the Karana, one part of the mind, which has all of the data. It's like the data center. So this Manomaya Kosha is like the data center for your body. And it comes up with all the raw material for you to make the universe. And then it has all the codes.
This includes things from the past life also?
Past life also, and everything in the universe. My Manomaya Kosha will have codes about it, even you. So if I want to heal you, I can change it in my Manomaya Kosha, you will get healed.
Is it similar to giving someone good intentions?
Yeah, even your intentions come from the Manomaya Kosha. So, I mean, the data for the intentions comes from there. Intentions are formed because of certain data coming into us, and how we'll react to it is also a framework. All these frameworks, data, and all these things are stored in the mind.
Right.
All the algorithms of how things should work and everything, even natural laws are stored in the Manomaya Kosha. And then there is the Vigyanmaya Kosha, where it stores all of... the frameworks are stored in Vigyanmaya Kosha. Manomaya Kosha is only the data. So Vigyanmaya Kosha stores all the frameworks. That means, how will I behave with this person? How will I behave with that person? How will I behave with this person? What will I do if I start drowning? What will I do if there's a fight on the road? What will I do? All this data, it keeps collecting and updating the Vigyanmaya Kosh.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't have data, it tries to find it desperately, and then it will capture it by copying something where it doesn't have. That's how it learns.
Yeah.
So it copies it, and if it doesn't work, it's supposed to correct itself and move on. But people, since they invest in the mistakes, even emotions come from here. The framework of what emotions to feel.
Yeah.
So because of the frameworks, people are able to do something or not do something. So it's a very crucial body, which all your abilities are there, your self-image is there, all of these things are there. And what you think of the world, your world view is all there. Everything is there. And then there is the Anandamaya Kosha, where there is only bliss. It is a repair body. You can call it the healing body. So we reach this in Sushupti, in deep sleep. We are able to get into the Anandamaya Kosha, access the Ananda from there, and then heal everything over here, repair everything.
Right.
So those who develop the Anandamaya Kosha will become immortal, because they'll keep healing from everything. That's what healing is.
Yeah, in the last episode we talked about immortality.
Yeah.
Where we also talked about that there is no genuine need to die. Like you don't have to die. It's just a belief that we have to die.
Yeah, when the body fails, only you want to die. Otherwise, you don't want to.
Okay. But then, like for example, I had this question in my mind last time. I think I didn't ask it. That let's say this must be known to a lot of people in the past now. Like not in Kali Yuga. Let's say talk about 5,000 years back when Gita was being said.
Oh, even in Kali Yuga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just for the people to digest it well.
Yeah.
If we talk about Krishna's Yuga, a lot of people might know it.
Yeah.
Right. But then what is that they need to know that, okay, this is what I need to do that I don't die. Or then, because Krishna also said in Bhagavad Gita that if you are here, then you have to die. This body changes it's like the soul changes its clothes, like we die and enter into a next realm or a next birth. So what does that mean then?
No, he didn't say we have to die. He said the Atman changes its clothes.
Okay.
The Atman is the Jiva.
No, but he said no, that if you are here, like जो पैदा होता है उसको मरना ही पड़ता है.
No, that's been misinterpreted. If I look at the Sanskrit shloka, I can tell you how it's been misinterpreted.
Okay.
So, yeah, definitely he talked about how the Atman is the only permanent thing here and all the whole universe comes out of it. But he didn't talk about that you have to die.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he, of course, had to die because his work was over. He didn't have any more work. He did some epic work and he left. But if your work is over, you can die. Otherwise, if you have one more karma bija, you live some more.
Okay.
But people are so weak in the prana that they're not able to make good karma bijas, How when a tree gets old, its seeds are not that great.
Right.
Same way, when people's body ages, they're not able to produce good karma bijas, so they'll only produce suffering bijas. So when you know what, if you take care of your physical body, then all these other bodies get taken care of.
Right.
Because this is the end result of all these bodies. So you can discard your body if you want. You have 5 bodies and you have 96 elements. You can discard everything, dissolve and come back.
Okay.
And a lot of yogis do it also. Like Shankaracharya. He just dissolved himself and then I'm sure he's back in some form.
Yeah. Okay. It's interesting because whenever we talk about death, it is like we know that we're gonna die. Like that's a belief, right? That I already know in my mind.
It is the
someday.
truth for most people because they don't know how to heal faster than they damage themselves. The solution for that, I told you, is to genuinely have someone sexually attracted to you and in love with you. That is when you become really truly immortal.
Okay.
And it is that energy. It's the male and female energy that can create that kind of immortality field. And it's been studied by scientists as well. When they studied people who are just in love, their telomeres were increasing in length. That means their DNA is renewing and it's able to heal. But they lose it after some time.
Yeah,
because they lose energy because they have a lot of unanswered stories. If you have unanswered stories, you will lose your energy. Like if I keep worrying about what does Himanshu think of me, I'll lose energy. No, but I have to know for sure. No? Does Himanshu respect me? Is he here, out of honor? Is he here to do a podcast to make fun of me? I have to think about all those things before I say yes. So if I say yes to something, and I'm not sure about the intentions of the people to whom I've said yes, I'll lose energy. If I don't know whether I'm being cheated or whatever, if I don't have security in any way, I'll lose energy.
Right.
And then I'll die. If you lose enough energy in one day, you can die. Or if you lose enough energy over a period of time and you don't renew it, you can die.
Okay.
And you can die in any way. You can die of COVID also, you can die of accident also, you can die of any way. So it'll just come and take you out if you keep losing energy. You can know when somebody is close to death.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always know by looking at that energy. So you can see energy. If you practice enough Yoga Nidra, you can see people's auras. It's just a matter of small shifts that we make. Make small shifts in our body, we can see people's aura. Do little more shifts, you can see what's in their mind. You can see their memories. You can see their future and past timeline. You can see what they think of. There won't be any mystery.
Right.
So it's good not to overuse it, because some amount of mystery is also fun.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's talk about people who are dying for sure. Okay. Like you said that they're gonna die. They can die of any reason. Most of us think that okay, we're gonna die peacefully. Most of us have this thought that we're gonna die like okay, the work is done now. Parents are like
like
the
Shri
kids are
Krishna.
settled. Yeah, everyone is settled, and now I'm gonna die. That's what people think. But generally, it happens all of a sudden when you're maybe in between work or maybe wherever. So when someone dies, does the last thought of that person, let's say someone dies in a car accident, does it affect a lot of timeline going forward?
It could, if they want it, because that's what they remember at the end.
Okay.
But then you reach across a river called Vaitharni, which is made of Shiva's tears.
Okay.
It's a very acidic black river.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't step into it. You'll just get dissolved, even if you're a soul or even if you're a... So people still have some form of identity. They're carrying their Manomaya Kosha and the Vigyanmaya Kosha. They are carrying, and the Anandmaya Kosha they're carrying. So they still have an identity even when they die. So many of them go to the last form in which they've been happy.
Okay.
And there is a Diksha that my Guru gave me, Mahatar Babaji, which turned me into a Kal Garud, which means I can fly people across the Vaitharni back into the world of the living to take another birth. And so when I meet these people, I see that they've taken the form in which they were last happy. Most of them have been last happy only when they were a kid. So they're standing as little kids there. Somebody says, my father who's 82 died, I go to across the river, he's a kid. And then, it's just intention which takes you there. And when I'm there, he's just a kid. And he's playing around. And then I ask him, like, what do you want to do next? And then many of them recognize that I'm starting a Gurukulam for kids. And they want to be born there. They want to be born so that they can be students there. So like this, more than 1,000 people, 1,000, 2,000 people I've helped who want to be my students. Many of them have other agendas. Some of them want to go to other planets. Some of them go to other countries. They want to change their gender. They're tired of being a man or tired of being a woman. So these kind of things happen after you're dead. So it's not like there's no activity after you're dead. There's a lot to do. And then you'll be like, all the science is shit.
Right.
Yeah.
No, because the general thought is that when you die, your memories are here now. It's burnt with the body or, in the earth.
No, memories come along with you.
Yeah.
Manomaya Kosha comes along with you.
Okay.
Yeah. So not all the 96 elements die. Some of them are kept.
Right.
And they come with you.
Okay.
The Karanas and the Koshas, 3 Koshas and all the 4 Karanas come with you.
Right. But then what's the best way to approach it?
You need to train to not die. That's the only way. Otherwise, once you die, there's grace. Don't worry. Like you can always sit down there, don't get butthurt, and try to wish for a better life, and you'll get it.
Okay.
But there is nothing called mukti, moksha, etc. That happens when you're alive. When you're alive, you can have many kinds of mukti. Like there's sarupya mukti, where you will physically take the form of a god. And then there is Sayujya Mukti, where the god will be installed in you.
Okay.
Like how in a murti in the temple you have installed a god, the god will start living in you. Like that there are 4 or 5 muktis, 4 muktis. I don't remember the other 2, I'm sorry. But this is what happens. In the end, the goal is to become divine.
Okay. So this is done via sadhana?
Yes. It is done by obviously discipline. That's the only way.
Right. Okay. But then when we talk about moksha, people talk about, like you said, that it's only possible when you're alive.
Yeah.
People also relate moksha with happiness.
Huh.
Right? Like you said, that they take that form after they die when they were the last happy. Right? But like, for example, I want to see a waterfall. I go there and I get really happy. Right? So it keeps on changing, right? So then how do you know that, okay, I'm truly happy or not happy, and how do I attain that happiness or retain that happiness?
I think there's a slight difference between happiness and the orgasmic bliss that people feel.
Okay.
You can feel happy at a waterfall, but it's not that much happy that you become when you practice yoga.
Okay.
And when you're able to create waves of bliss. In Sushupti, you keep creating waves of bliss. They keep coming out.
Okay.
And yeah, so practicing advanced things like Yoga Nidra can make you very, very happy. If you do it twice a day, you'll be very happy. You'll be in bliss.
I'll feel that in the body, or do I feel that overall inside?
In the body, yes, of course. And it's not just your body that has feeling. No, bring your hand, even if you just rub your hand here, it's not the wind. Just do something like this.
Yeah.
And if you close your eyes, you can feel the movement of the other hand. Even without touching it. Even if someone else does it to you, you'll feel it. If you rotate your hand on top of your head.
Yeah, if someone does it here
someone
also,
points,
you
you'll also feel. So there's a lot of feeling even outside the body. We can feel the whole universe. I can sit and feel the pain of someone dying in a war in some other country if I want.
Yeah.
No? A lot of people do it.
Yeah.
When there's injustice happening somewhere in the world, people are protesting in India. So it can happen. So we can feel things far beyond our body.
Okay. What did you mean by when you said that because we created this universe? One was the perception that I spoke about. That okay, that perception, that mountain could be Ganesha and could be a tree for you.
वो perception level है ना?
Yeah, but the other is like a physical level. Like you said, now we created this grass.
See the sun.
Yeah.
Crazy, right? Anyway, yeah, we created this grass, that sun, this.
As in the physical or the perception word?
The physical thing doesn't exist. There is nothing physical.
yeah,
Even your physical body is not physical.
Yeah.
It is just an illusion. That all feeling is an illusion.
Is this illusion with respect to time? Like, for example,
even time is an illusion. Yeah. So
time, as in if we measure it, then it's an illusion.
Time itself is an illusion. There's no past. There's no future. Nothing exists.
But it's not linear, or is it? Like we see it in a different way.
We can move between time. Time is like a cycle. That's why it's infinite. It's called a cycle of yugas. So it keeps cycling.
But then, if all of this is illusion, what is the real? What is the reality?
Nothing is the reality.
Nothingness.
Nothingness, nothing, whatever you want to call it. Nothingness. It still means nothing only. What's the difference?
I mean, so is that what we call Shiva?
Yes. Shiva is the only reality. Sat.
Okay.
Satya.
Nice.
The rest is asatya. Everything else is untrue.
Okay.
And Maya. So it depends on your level of consciousness. In a Jagrut consciousness, everything feels real. Give someone some drugs and suddenly they're seeing everything moving, waving, because they change their consciousness.
True.
They're in a mix of Swapna and Jagrut right now. Swapna has overlapped on the Jagrut.
Right.
So the guy is in some other world and people get hooked to that because it feels such a relief from the normal world which seems oppressive and hard.
Yeah. But that's running away.
Yeah, that's like not wanting to understand the nature of reality. And that's like saying this is somehow unfair.
Yeah.
And like nothing's unfair, man. If you know the rules, everything is fair. If you have power, everything is fair. No, justice is the privilege of the powerful.
Yeah, you said it.
You need to develop power with yoga, then everything is fair. You can make everything fair. It's no problem.
But when you spoke about Yoga Nidra, because I'm still in that that question,
sure.
when you talk about traveling to Sushupti. So, for example, if I'm aware about that particular state, it means I'm aware means my mind is still working right? Like this physical mind is still working. So
it is.
am I not here?
You're
Then
not
how am I
aware of
shifting?
anything except bliss.
Okay.
You're aware that you are in bliss.
Hmm.
There's a sense of I am in bliss,
Yeah,
and that's about it. You don't have any body awareness.
Okay.
You don't have the awareness like we have now, like being inside a physical body.
Hmm.
We don't have that awareness. And being inside a physical universe.
Okay. For example, I'll give a very physical example for people who can understand this just by basic examples.
Okay.
For example, I started doing, like what I personally do, I'll share. Let's say I start with a chant of Devi. I get lost in the sound, right? Then in middle, what happens is sometimes the thought goes here and there. It goes to, it takes another forms. Maybe it'll start thinking about something else randomly, and then I'll be aware. Oh, I swept away, and then I'll come back to the chant. Start visualizing what's happening in the chant, right? After some time, I couldn't feel. I forget that okay, I'm not sitting in a room. But the moment I forget about that, I come back to the room because now I know that okay, I was in a room. I forgot that, but now I came back. So I'm talking about this. That this awareness. How does it go to that level that I'm aware of the body, I'm aware of the awarenesses, but still experience that bliss? Or is this a form of bliss that I'm
Bliss is
talking
in
about?
your heart here.
Heart.
Sushupti is here.
Okay.
Yeah. So, dream is here. Wakefulness is here.
Okay.
So, you might be traveling between these.
The energies, the frequencies?
The consciousness itself, maybe, yeah, energy. When the consciousness gets energized, that's when it becomes conscious, right?
Yeah.
So the consciousness gets some electricity there, then it'll start creating bliss. Consciousness gets electricity here, it'll start creating a dream. Gets energy here, it'll start perceiving the room back. Otherwise, you can forget that you're in a room when you're here.
Yeah.
Or you can forget you have a body, you'll be here, but you'll just be in bliss. Even if you have cancer or some really bad disease, if you keep on concentrating on your heart, you'll feel better.
Right.
You'll be in that bliss, and that bliss is healing.
Okay. Is that bliss? Because you have done it. I haven't done it yet, so I don't
When
know.
you're healing rapidly, no, that's bliss. And you're
No,
not
no.
aware of your body.
Okay. But does bliss feel exactly how it's said? That you feel very happy or, like juices flowing in your body and you're smiling or maybe something like that. What does it feel like?
Well, you actually won't be aware of what the body is doing when you're in bliss. It'll be doing by itself.
Got it.
You won't even know. You've seen some of these people, no? Like Mirabai, always in bliss. Or you've heard about them.
Yeah.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, always in bliss. And recently Anand Mahima, who was always in bliss. And even our Amritananda Mai.
Right.
She doesn't teach anything. She's only in bliss. You go sit with her, you'll also feel bliss.
Yeah. So when you, for normal people to understand it, normal as in people who maybe not be able to think this much, if I get lost, let's say I'm dancing or maybe I'm singing something. If I get lost in that singing and forget about everything else, that's bliss.
All the bhakti movement, Kabir, Rumi,
Yeah.
sab. Rumi is of course not bhakti movement, but he's one of those guys blissed out all the time. He used to keep drinking alcohol. He doesn't know what his body is doing. He's always blissed out.
Okay.
Even Ramakrishna Paramahamsa.
Yeah. Great.
There have been great saints who have just been in bliss, and they showed people how to be in bliss. Even Ramana Maharshi in Tiruvannamalai, he was also in bliss all the time.
I want to start with the very basic, like the creation that has been written in our books, in our Puranas. So in our Puranas, according to what I have read, is the creation happened with curiosity or a thought of the Parampara, or maybe, how do you say it in simple words? Like he wanted to create. Maybe it was curiosity or it was an
Intention,
idea. Yeah. Then Brahmanda was formed. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. That's the story that we know.
Yeah.
But in that creation, there was no mention of Devi as such. The only form of the first time when Brahma goes to Shiva, that how do I create a Srishti which procreates by itself? Then Ardhanarishwar comes up, like yoga. Shiva goes into yoga and he brings out Ardhanarishwar. That was the first time it's mentioned. But then, is there something that we don't know about the start of the creation when Devi was there? Or what was the first manifestation of Devi?
I think Devi and Purusha were manifested together.
Okay.
And without the womb, there cannot be the seed. So Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh provided the seed.
Okay.
Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Maheshwar. That's how it is. There are four gunas, not three gunas. There are three gunas, of course, but the fourth guna is Nirguna, which does not have any of those three gunas.
Parabrahm, the top.
Actually, no, that's Maheshwar.
Okay.
Parabrahm will be Shiva only. Like the one, and it can, in Devi Bhagavatam, they consider Mahamaya as the Parabrahm. So it depends on the perspective.
Okay.
In Ganesh Puran, you will see Ganesh is the Parabrahm.
Oh, okay.
Skanda Puran, you'll see Skanda is the Parabrahman. So like that, it depends on the Puran.
Okay.
In Markandeya Puran, of course, Devi is again.
Okay.
So certain Purans are dedicated to Devi. Kalika Puran, Devi is Parabrahm. So
okay.
Depends.
Okay. So according to Devi Bhagavatam, how did it start?
Devi Bhagavatam says that there was nothing, and then Devi created the first Char and Achar.
Okay.
Which is the first immobile creature, which is a people tree.
Okay.
And the first mobile creature, which is Vishnu.
Oh.
He was born as a baby on the leaf of a people tree.
Okay.
And then she made her appearance there. And then she made her appearance there. She told Vishnu, I love you so much, so I'm going to stay in your heart. She got into his heart as Lakshmi. She came in the form of Lakshmi only.
Okay.
With the Shankha, Chakra, Gada, this Gada.
Yeah.
This is Devi's Gada, not Hanuman Gada.
Yeah.
So she came with this Gada and she said, I'm going to stay in your heart. As soon as she did that, Lakshmi was entrenched in his heart. And so she's called Vishnu Maya because she came first to him,
Okay.
to Vishnu. And then she got into his third eye. And from there, Shiva came out, Rudra.
Okay.
Rudra came out as an Agnistham, which is mentioned even in Shiv Puran.
Yeah.
And then she got into the navel of Vishnu, and then Brahma came out from there.
Okay.
So that's a different story. Linga Puran has a different story. Every Puran has a different story. It doesn't matter which Puran you subscribe to, it's all true. Because on an experiential level, you're able to experience all of this.
Experience all of this means?
Means how Devi is the source, how Shiva is the source, how Brahma is the source, how Vishnu is the source, how Ganesh is the source, how Skanda is the source. We can experience.
Okay.
When we follow that Puran and its practices prescribed in it, we'll be able to experience that.
Okay.
So it's all true. There are many truths because it's all Maya.
Yeah.
Even Brahma, Shiva and Vishnu are Maya.
Okay. Yeah, that's why it's called Mahamaya and...
Yeah,
then,
Mahamaya is Devi. And then, so it depends. There are many versions of this. It frustrates the other religions because they have only one story. But we have like 108 stories.
Right. Okay. So, okay. Now it gets interesting because does Devi Bhagavatam gives a technique or maybe a story about manifesting Devi or, meeting Devi or talking to her? Is there any mention?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an early morning practice. Like if you want to meet Devi, as soon as you wake up, imagine that you are Vishnu. Sleeping on a people tree. Don't even open your eyes. And start hearing the mantra that she said. She said half a shloka there. Sarva khalvidam evaham. Na anyadasti sanatanam. She said this. That means the whole universe is me. And there exists nobody but me. You have to hear that in her sweet voice. You can hear it in English as well.
Yeah.
You keep hearing that in her sweet voice, and if you keep hearing it, one day she'll show herself.
Okay.
Yeah. There are many methods to see Devi. Inside the stotras, it's all coded and hidden.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's first talk about the basic forms, which I have also, I want to understand more about them, because what I have understood is that the form of Devi that we have given, like how we depict Devi in different artworks and idols, that is a human form. Like that form looks like a human. But when we talk about the creation, it's formless. Like we talk about any like the source.
Okay.
We say it's formless. It's formless also, and it's like both. Like you can't just explain it in words, right? Like correct me if I'm wrong.
You're saying the universe is formless and has
No,
form?
not the universe. The creator.
The creator.
Devi or Parabrahma, Mahamaya.
And the creator is always formless.
Yeah. But we have given these human forms. So
we have not given.
Okay.
That was a basic form where a conscious mind can stay. Body is designed for consciousness. The cat's body is not designed for this kind of consciousness. It has just Jagrut, Swapna, that's it. Sushupti, that's it. It doesn't have the creator consciousness.
Okay.
But the human form can have that. So that's why Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwar are in Rudra and Mahesh are in human form.
Okay, they are in human form.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
They have 4 hands though.
Yeah.
Shiva has 5 heads.
Yeah.
Shiva.
Panchanan.
And Brahma has 4 heads. Vishnu has 1 head but 4 arms. And so on and so forth.
Okay. So my question was that let's talk about first the 3 Devis that are like, people know about the most. Saraswati, Lakshmi and Parvati. Okay. So my doubt is that does these 3 forms symbolize something, mean something that is in our lives, but we see it in that way. Like for example, when we talk about Lakshmi, people are all about money. But it's not just about money, right?
No.
So like that. So let's start with Parvati.
She is the tamasic form of Shakti, which is Jnana Shakti.
Okay.
Jnana Shakti is a tamasic form, knowledge. The ability to know.
Okay.
Because it's only through knowledge that action is possible. Kriya Shakti is Saraswati.
Okay.
And she's the Rajasic form. The ability to act. And who's the other one?
Lakshmi.
Lakshmi is the Sattvic form. And she is the ability, she's Ichha Shakti, the ability to create an intention. So you have intention, and then you have knowledge, and you have action. These are the 3 Devis.
So do we pray to them in this order?
They're all one Devi, if you look at it. As one Devi, she would be Rajeshwari. And she is all 3. Okay. But she's served also by Lakshmi and Saraswati on either side. But she has all 3. Her head is Ichha Shakti, her torso is Gyan Shakti, and her hands and legs are Kriya Shakti.
Okay. And then let's talk about Lakshmi Ma, that we say that, okay, Lakshmi, money, and all that. People try to please her for money.
There's one Lakshmi, Dhana Lakshmi.
Yeah.
That's just one aspect of Lakshmi. And she's not even the source of money. Because Kubera and Lakshmi got broke. Okay. They lost all their money in the wars between the Asurs and the Devas. The Sur and Asurs. They were funding the Surs and they lost all their money.
Okay.
Then Swarnabhairav gives them money.
Okay.
In one legend, in one of the Purans. So then Swarnabhairav is the source of all wealth.
Okay.
But if you read other Purans, then Lakshmi is the source of all wealth.
But what is the real meaning of, why do we call her Lakshmi?
Because of Laksha, goal.
Goal.
Yeah. She is the Ichha Shakti. And Ichha is considered
okay.
the goal, Ichha, Laksh.
Yeah. Whatever I want to do in my life.
Yeah. So she is intention and purpose. Intention and purpose always accumulates wealth automatically.
Yeah. And for that I need Saraswati and
Saraswati's knowledge. Saraswati, no, not knowledge. Saraswati's action.
Action.
Kriya. Kriya leads to knowledge, which is the tamasic form.
Parvati.
Gauri, Parvati, however you call her.
Okay.
Shiva's wife.
Yeah.
Or rather, if you go by the Lingpura nomenclature, then Shiva is the formless one, Rudra is the one. Rudra's wife is Parvati.
These are the most common ones. But then we talk about Mahishasur Mardini. So then what is that form? How does it come into play?
Mahishasur Mardini is just another form of Gyan Shakti Parvati only. Because she was also endowed with weapons by everyone else at Rishi Katyayan. So Devi herself comes there, and then they give her, everyone gives her the weapon. Indra gives us Vajra, Vishnu gives us Sudarshan Chakra, Shiva gives us Trident, and so on and so forth. She gets weapons from all the gods. And then she goes to war with him, Mahishasur. So they all had her back, basically.
Right. No, so apart from that we say that, Shiva's wife and Vishnu's wife, what could be the other symbolisms with it? That why are we making a division? Because since it is all one, we could just, pray to or try to please one
Yeah,
Devi.
I mean, it's all one hand, but why are we making the division of each finger? So for clarity, I can say how to hold this gada. Use all your 5 fingers.
Yeah.
You can leave the front fingers, no problem. You won't lose any grip. But don't leave this finger, you lose all the grip.
Yeah.
So then now I have to distinguish between a little finger and a big finger. Front finger I can let go of just to get mobility.
Yeah.
But the little finger, if I let go of, I'll lose stability.
Right.
So now mobility, stability is making me to divide in this hand. So for functional, we know, I mean, cats and dogs don't have nomenclature, man.
Yeah.
No, but we have so that we can speak about it in abstract ways.
Great. Okay. My interest is more on side of what generally is called as tantric form of goddess, which are the 10 Mahavidyas. I'm sure there must be more which people don't know about. Does the Devi Bhagavatam...
No, there are only 10 Mahavidyas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So does the Devi Bhagavatam has a story or mention of why these were created? Or how did
these
they
are not
come?
in Devi Bhagavatam. They come in Tantras.
Okay.
Maybe Vamkeshwar Tantra has some of it. I can't recall now which Tantras have it, but it's there on the internet. You can check.
Yeah.
It's not in the Purans.
Okay. So
that's why it's called Tantric form, because it's in the Tantras.
Okay. Okay. But what happened or why was the reason that 10 of these tantric forms got manifested?
Because of the Devis inside the Devis. That means the gunas inside the gunas. So if you look at tamas, you can divide tamas into 3.
Yeah.
Like tamasic tamas, rajasic tamas, and sattvic tamas.
Oh, okay.
So each of them gives rise to one vidya. Vidya means the intuition and knowledge that comes from heightened sensitivity.
Okay.
Which only women have.
Yeah.
So that is why all women are considered vidya. They can have insights into things that men can't.
Yeah, definitely. They can sense a lot of things that we
correct.
Even.
So based on that, these are called, the different vidyas have different names.
Okay.
The Rajasic is also divided into 3. Tamasic Rajasic, Rajasic.
Okay, subdivisions.
Yeah. So that's why the Devis inside the Devis make the Mahavidyas.
Okay.
Each Mahavidya is made up of 2 Devis.
Okay.
Like Kali is made of 2 Tamasic Devis.
Okay.
And Tara is made of 1 Rajasic and one Tamasic. Like that.
Okay. So let's talk about their forms a bit. Like why are they depicted like this? So in the the depiction of images, when we talk about that, it's the first what they call is the Kali, like you said. So when we look at Kali, most of people get scared with the fears representation.
Yeah, human sacrifice.
Yeah. So she is standing on Shiva with one head in her hand, with the khadga with blood, and her tongue is out. So does this mean anything apart from the story? That there's one story that she was killing the monster and Shiva lied because she was about to kill everything else. So does this depict something which is us or our emotions or anything?
Yeah, it depicts complete darkness, full mystery, the things that are shrouded outside of our consciousness.
Okay.
Like the darkest of the dark is Kali. Things we don't know about.
Like for example, I don't know that I am jealous inside. That is Kali.
Yeah. Or you don't know that you are compassionate inside.
Yeah.
That is also Kali.
Okay.
Everything
Wherever
is
there
Kali.
is no light.
Wherever there is no light is Kali. It's not good or bad.
Yeah. But when you pray to Kali, she comes and shows you the light.
Depends on what you pray for, no?
Hmm.
If you pray to Kali that your neighbor dies, that's called Maran. But if you pray to Kali that you get prosperity, that's different. That's
okay.
Yeah, that's a different way to approach her. She can give you whatever you want because it's from darkness, anything can come. So Kali is very sexy, like anything can happen.
Got it. And with this depiction, like with Shiva on her, like Shiva below her.
Yeah.
Does this mean something related to our consciousness or?
Yeah, it's Shiva is in his most tamasic form here, lying down.
Okay.
And so it's about chilling. Shiva's chilling over there. He's not bothered by her.
Okay.
He's getting a nice rest while she steps on him. She stands on him as the base.
Yeah.
So in that base of restfulness, of purpose or intention, there is Kali.
Okay.
Whenever you make the intention to relax, there's Kali.
Okay.
Because inside that relaxation, lot of things start getting planned. You're getting ready, no? When you're sleeping, a lot of things are gearing up for the day ahead, for the next day.
Okay.
So like that. When you're deeply in rest, that's when Kali is active. She works in the dark. When the consciousness is off, she works.
Okay. What's the best way to, or the right way to pray to Kali? Because a lot of people just stand in front of her idol and she's like, mujhe ye de do, mujhe de do.
I think, like all women, she loves praise.
Okay.
And she loves to be praised. So I just sing her stuti, her praises. But one of the mantras which please Kali a lot is the mantra called Cream. Krim.
Cream.
Cream.
That's the Bij mantra.
Ka is the mantra of, Cream is kind of, Ka is Shrishti, creation.
Okay.
And Ra is Agni.
Okay.
And E is Shakti. And is the Bindu, or Bindu can be the seed of what it comes from. So all the Bij mantras end in That is the Bindu which makes it a seed.
Okay.
So seeding creative intention.
Okay.
Is that. And can only be seeded in peace. If you put a seed in a soil that's not peaceful and stable and still, it will not grow. So Bij mantras have to be seeded like that. So Kali's Bij mantra is all the ones starting with all the Dirgha syllables of Ka. Kara, Kra. All the Dirgha syllables of Kra are the mantras of Kali. Like Kram. Not Kram, but Kram. Cream. Kroom. Crime. Crown. These are all the 5 seeds of Kali. You can use that to make a Kali Kavach. And you can use that to make a Digbandhana, where you're protected by Kali. And she loves to sit inside these bijas. She can sit in your body, This is the basic stuff, You can put her in each finger. Karanyasa. So you put Kram, Cream, Kroom, Crime, Crown, Kraha.
Okay.
This is Kraha. Then there is Kram, Cream, Kroom, Crime.
Okay.
And Kraha is the Astra. Now you protected yourself. Can you see the change in energy? Can you see how nature itself changed in 1 second? Did you see? The light changed, everything changed.
Yeah.
So that's what happens. Now there's a big Kali field around us.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's cool, man. I like Kali. The best way to pray to her is like to
Yeah.
talk to her and make her an offer
Hmm.
that this is what I want to do. What do you think? Are
Yeah.
you in or out?
Yeah.
That's what I ask her.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach Yoga Nidra. You want to come or what? She's like, yeah, I'm coming. She likes good, unusual offers. No, how many people make the offer? I'm going to teach Yoga Nidra. You want to come and sit there?
Hmm.
You want to put everyone in various states?
Yeah.
I don't need any drugs to put people in an altered state.
Yeah.
It's just Kali. If I
Hmm.
ask Kali, she'll put you in an altered state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understood. Okay. Great. Now the next form is Tara.
Tara.
Tara is similar, like in depiction, it's
Yeah.
similar to
Very similar to
Kali.
Kali
Yeah.
in depiction, but there's one difference that she's got a Rajasic bija.
Yeah, there is no
there's
head in her hand.
Yeah.
And there is a flower. There are two khadgas.
Now, Tara means protector.
Okay.
Tarak means protector.
Hmm.
So she'll get you across anything.
Okay.
And she's the one who gives you stability and protection.
Hmm.
Basically protection, because when
Okay.
you're trying to do something, there are 1,000 things that can go wrong.
Yeah.
You don't want any of that to happen. You pray to Tara.
Okay.
Or if you have a relationship with her, this Mahavidya will always keep your stuff protected.
Hmm.
Will not be attacked at all. You can't be touched. You can't be defeated if Tara has your back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I need to know every Bij mantra, or I can do that with it pure intention?
No, intention is everything. It's more powerful than any Bij mantra.
Okay.
But the pure intention is very hard to find. That's why people made the Bij mantras, because people are not able to get pure intention. So the next best thing is the Bij mantra.
Okay.
And the Bij mantra leads to a larger mantra always. Every
Okay.
Bij mantra has an expanded version, like Om Jum Saha's Mrityunjay Bij mantra. Om Jum Saha, which is the mantra of Agni, Surya, Vishnu and Shiva. That turns into the whole long Mrityunjay mantra also.
The third form is Tripura Sundari.
Hmm.
So now it's again very interesting because Shiv is lying down.
Yeah.
She's above
She's sitting on him.
But I see that it's coming out of his navel, like with the lotus. And there are 5.
Sometimes she's shown sitting on him, mating with him also.
Okay.
So she has many forms. So basically she's arising out of Shiva.
Okay.
She's using Shiva's linga as an adhara and she's the alinga.
Okay.
And Shiva himself is supported by another 4 gods, no?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Brahma, Rudra, Mahesh.
Yeah.
And Indra.
So what's the depiction? Symbolism.
Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Mahesh, Indra, all are there.
Yeah.
So Tripura Sundari is like a very sexual goddess.
Okay.
Yeah. Because she's born out of the Tripur. She's the Sattvic Tamas. She's the truth of the truth of the darkness.
Okay.
So she's like every woman has Tripura.
Tripura means?
Tripura is the opening of the Valva, first one.
Okay.
The 3 worlds. The second world is the opening of the vagina, and the third world is the opening of the womb.
Okay.
So it represents the whole Yoni Mandal.
Okay.
So creation. She represents the different stages of creation. Starting from the Ichha, which is the pleasure, the joy, the desire. From there, it grows into the Kriya, which is the second one. And then there is the Jnana, which is the womb. The womb knows what to do with it.
Okay.
So that is supported by Shiva, which is the Shivalinga, which penetrates all the Tripura.
Okay. And that's why it's called. That's why she's called Sundari. Because of beauty.
Yeah, because of the Shringara in her. She is very beautiful and very sexy.
4th is Bhuvaneshwari.
Bhuvaneshwari. So
There's no
here,
Shiva
from
here.
here the Rajasic goddesses start, like the active ones,
Okay.
like the action goddesses. So this is the tamasic Rajas, which is um, the invisible and unconscious parts of the attitude of conquering.
Okay.
So when we have a desire, we want to go and conquer it in the world.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to do. And there is a large unconscious part of it, which is, why is it really there? Why do I have so much drive? All these secrets are there in Bhuvana, which means sky.
Okay.
So she's the Bhuvaneshwari. She's the overarching environment in which you will start generating Rajas.
So you get to know the behind of your desire, like the reason of your desire.
Like, where is it coming from? It's not coming from this birth, man. Many desires. They're coming from where? Somewhere across time with past. She's the past. That's what she... And she's also the future. She projects into the future. Okay. So the Bhuvana is both the past and the future. Bhuvaneshwari.
Okay. So, like for example, we have seen Kali a lot. Like because of, generalization, we see a lot of Kali temples. But we haven't seen a lot of Bhuvaneshwari temples.
Yeah, but they're there. Bhuvaneshwar itself is a...
Yeah. No, I'm talking about that. Let's say I want to pray to her. Like I'm not sure if I'm right to say like praying to her or calling on her or invoking her. So do I think about with the name Bhuvaneshwari?
All the light coming from the sky is her.
Okay.
Starlight, sunlight, moonlight, all the light coming from the sky is her.
So do I think the name? Do I think the form? The
form. Just think of her as light.
Okay.
We are all visible because of light.
Hmm.
So that is our part. And there's so much invisible light.
Yeah.
Mosquitoes can see ultraviolet light. We can't see.
Right.
There's so much invisible light. So this will be the invisible lights. You can think of Bhuvaneshwari as the invisible lights because she's a tamasic rajas. Light is what gives rise to everything in this world.
Yeah.
It gives rise to Agni, which is the life force in everybody. The Mula Agni, the sexual fire. So light gives rise to fire.
Without light, there won't be any measure of time or there won't be any time, is what I feel.
Yeah, that's right. Because light gives you distance. Distance gives you time.
Time. That's why you said time is an illusion.
Time is an illusion. Time is just distance.
Yeah.
It's in a fourth dimension. It's just space. It's just distance.
Yeah.
We are traveling through time. We can travel forwards, backwards anyway. You can reset time. You can shrink time. You can expand time. You can do all sorts of stuff. It's just intention. Bhuvaneshwari will help you with all those things. You make a good relationship with her and, before I go in my car, I touch the floor, I touch the sky, I say, Jai Bhuvaneshwari, and I go.
Okay.
And 8-hour journey becomes 4 hours.
Because you don't feel like you don't sense the passing of time.
No, actual 4 hours. Like I will leave Pondicherry at 7 and I'll be in Mysore at 11:30 like that.
Okay.
Which actually takes 10 hours. Yeah. Okay. So we can do things like that. Just shrink the flight time.
But for that, you need to fly alone in a private jet. Everyone will experience that.
Yeah, everyone will experience that. Yeah. You can do that.
Okay.
Or you can reduce that experience only for yourself as well.
Yeah.
It'll be 5 o'clock and it'll be... That's what NLP people do.
Okay.
They shrink time. And one of my NLP teachers, he showed us... He made us do that shrink time thing, and then we looked at our digital clock on our phone, and then the second needle is going far slower than 1 second. Everybody's tripping.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, if an NLP guy can do it, a yogi can do it like without thinking also. What
I consider what I understand about time is that, like for example, like how 1 hour just passed away, we didn't know.
Yeah,
for example, someone who is standing in the heat.
There's relative time and there's absolute time as well. We can shrink both.
Okay.
Yeah, both are shrinkable.
I think it's just a disbelief in me that you can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, why would you have that belief unless you've experienced it?
Yeah. So Bhairavi is again depicted similar to Bhuvaneshwari. Almost similar. But her like feet is on the lotus on a pond.
And
she has 4 hands.
She's a super Rajasic Devi. In general, I don't worship her because things just happen too fast.
Okay.
You don't get thinking time because like double Rajasic Devi she's. Yeah.
Okay.
Sadhguru is into this.
Yeah.
Linga Bhairavi, something is doing.
So, okay, yeah, I had this doubt that when we talk about Devi, we generally don't talk about lingas. Because lingam is Shiv, generally, what we see.
Yeah.
So, what is Linga Bhairavi then? Is it amalgamation of both?
I think it's some form of Ardhanari.
Okay.
Ardhanarishwar.
That's why the lingam is there. Yeah, that was my doubt.
Yeah. I don't think it's all Devi because it has a lingam. So how can it be all Devi? I think it's half Devi.
Linga Bhairavi. Okay. So, Bhairavi is...
Bhairavi is also the writer of many of the tantras. And she's also like the listener in the other tantras. So, she just like gives out a lot of energy for you to do something. Kriya Shakti, whether you know it or not, you'll go and do.
Okay.
Kind of do or die kind of attitude. It's good for the army to worship Bhairavi. It's good for killing people or that kind of stuff. Like you want to really destroy something, then
or create something,
or just that energy, energy of action.
Yeah,
that's really what it is. So Bhairavi is worshipped by people who are in action. Like the police can do it, or the army
I also
can
do it.
You can also do it.
Yeah.
Then your podcast will grow.
Okay, lovely.
She is the consort of Bhairav. So
Kal Bhairav.
Yeah, every Bhairav has his own Bhairavi as well. So Ashta Bhairav have Ashta Bhairavi.
Okay.
All Bhairavs are Kal Bhairav. So she's Kal Bhairavi also.
Bhairavi. Then this one is my favorite. Chinnamastama. So this is a very, like, if you show it to anyone, just go and show it to anyone, they might get scared. They might have multiple thoughts of things. So there is goddess in between. She has cut her head off by herself. She's holding that head.
Drinking her own blood.
Yeah. And no. So there are 3 streams of blood coming out. And 2 of the forms are drinking here. The blood is drunk by them.
Oh, those 2 are not her. They're her assistants standing around.
So, and then there is a couple performing sex here. She's standing on them.
Yeah.
This is like, what does this depict?
Chinnamasta basically means cut head.
Yeah.
And so it shows self-awareness,
Okay.
The truth. You can call it the brutal truth. If you want to see what it is, it's a sattvic rajas.
Sattvic rajas. So cutting off the head means going away from ego?
No, looking into your insides and tasting yourself to know the truth. Brutal self-examination. That's what it is. And that's what you feed to others also, the truth. That's why the others are also being fed the truth.
Okay.
I think I should worship her.
Some of the forms also show a lot of snakes around her in this Channamasta form.
Snakes represent a Vayu known as Naga Vayu. And you will see these snakes with everyone. Ganesh, Shivji, Vishnu, everyone got snakes. So the snakes represent, when I say Naga Vayu, I mean if I think of picking up this bottle of water, then already there's some of my energy gone there as a precursor to pave the path for the rest of my energy to go there.
Okay.
So how we hold on to things. No, physically we can hold on to things, but mentally also we hold on to things. That's the Naga Vayu.
Okay.
The snake which coils around. So there's a snake we send and coil around everything we love. Or everything we are possessive about as well.
Yeah.
Everything we want to hold.
Attachment.
Mine. When we say mine, there is one snake around it. That's what it is.
Okay.
So that's what it represents.
Okay. Got it. And I heard it somewhere that these 3 streams of blood are also Ida, Pingala and Sushumna.
Correct. Could be. Because Pingala gives you information about the truth about others. Ida gives you truth about yourself. And Sushumna gives you the truth about God and spirituality and nature.
Okay.
Yeah. The 3 streams of knowledge. Others, self and God.
And what about like this couple that is having sex? So does it mean that going beyond this word?
No. It's sex is a very holy and sacred thing, which
Hmm.
leads to self-awareness.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she's standing over it.
Yeah. So she's the fountainhead of the self-awareness that's coming from there.
Okay.
The truth about who we really are
Hmm.
is known with a sexual partner. If you can allow it to happen, you can lie there
Can
also.
you explain that?
You can lie there also. Like, how can you have an erection unless you're really turned on? But you can fake it if you have like a lot of drugs. Then maybe you can do it.
Hmm.
But otherwise, you can't have an erection.
Yeah.
You can't have sexual arousal.
Hmm.
Sexual arousal is the truth, isn't it? It's a real true thing in your body.
Yeah.
That's why. That's why the sex can help you know like what really turns you on.
Hmm.
That's when you're being yourself.
Okay. Interesting. The next form is Dhumavati.
Hmm.
She's depicted as an old goddess
Hmm.
with she's standing in a temple and she's just old.
Hmm.
That's all.
Hmm.
She's having that.
No, Dhumavati is also like the unknown stuff, like the the shrouded, cloudy stuff. The misty stuff
About us.
about us. Dhuma means mist or clouds.
Okay.
So smoke.
Hmm.
She's the smoke screen. So she's a sattvic goddess. The next three are sattvic goddess, but this one is the tamasic sattvic goddess. So she's the hidden truths.
Hidden truth.
Hmm.
But then that was Kali, no?
Well, Kali was not the hidden truth. She was just the hidden
Darkness.
darkness. But this is the hidden reality or the truth.
Hmm. So does this old also means wisdom, or it just means the mist?
It means your ancient past lives and everything. It's all hidden.
Okay.
You don't know about it. Dhumavati can help you to explore all that.
Hmm. Okay.
She's good for past life regression, also future life regression, because it's all hidden.
Ah. Okay. And next is okay. This is also very interesting. The mother is cutting the tongue, Baglamukhi.
Baglamukhi.
Yeah.
She's the Rajasic Sattva.
And she's sitting over. Okay, this depiction is pretty interesting. She's sitting over this throne, and there's this form here.
Hmm.
Not clear what it is, but she's cutting the tongue of. Maybe it's a demon or something.
Not cutting, but holding. And
holding and cutting the tongue.
She's cudgeling it. She's got a cudgel, like a baton kind of thing. She's hitting the tongue.
Okay. What does this depict?
This is controlling others with the truth.
What do you say?
I mean, conquering others with the truth.
Okay.
Yeah. Shining the light of truth into lies and finishing the lies. Making everyone say the truth.
Okay.
That's what she is. She'll make you say the truth. Once in a while, when we have these back home in the south, we have this thing called Teyam.
Teyam.
Yeah, Teyam. Have you seen the movie Kantara? It's the same thing.
Yeah, but I've seen the performances.
So that is whatever they call it. I don't know what they call it in Mangalore, but in Kerala where I come from, we call it Teyam. Teyam. And the goddess comes on someone. And that guy goes around running at such high speed, like Usain Bolt, jumping over all sorts of stuff, and then he'll go to someone's house. Okay. The goddess is on him. Let's be dancing outside. Say, come out, come out, come out. And they'll come out and say the truth to them. And he'll tell the husband, your wife is sleeping with that man.
Okay.
And he wouldn't know. After he comes out of the trance, he wouldn't know what he said, what he did. And go say the truth to everyone. So everyone is scared of the Teyam.
So if I pray to her, what change will happen in my life?
You'll start saying the truth to everyone.
And will I also realize the truth of life?
Yeah, you will. I say the truth to everyone. So it keeps things simple.
Yeah.
I don't waste energy then.
Matangi is
Matangi would be the Satvik.
like Saraswati?
Yeah,
No.
she's a form of Saraswati, yes.
Okay.
That's true. She's a tantric form of Saraswati.
Okay. She's having a sword in her hand though. On one hand there is a baton sort of thing. 4 arms.
Yeah. So Matangi is like the absolute truth. So, like whatever exists as it is, naked truth. You can call her the naked truth. No embellishments, no nothing, just as it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
No
So
no perceptions or illusions.
she is known to clear out all the junk.
Okay. No illusions.
No illusions. Yes, she doesn't allow you to have any illusions.
For example, if I am in relationship with someone
Ah.
and I'm in this illusion, okay, that I love her, but I'm actually not loving her just for the lust.
Ah.
That's what.
Then if you worship Matangi, you'll realize that. And it's good. If you can realize the truth about everything, it gives you real power. Okay. Real truth gives you real power.
Yeah.
If you're in lies, you don't have power. Those who love power will love truth. They will worship Matangi.
Okay. Okay. Then is Kamala.
Kamala.
So Kamala is depicted like, I think similar to Lakshmi.
Similar to Lakshmi, yeah. So she would represent the Nirgun in this case.
Okay.
Like she's neither Rajasic nor Tamasic nor anything because she can be everything. So Kamala has all the qualities of all the 10 Vidyas.
Okay.
Yeah, the Vidya of Kamala is called Shri Vidya. It's the highest of Dasham Mahavidyas, which contains everything of all the Vidyas.
Okay. So this is, but like the depiction is more of like you see elephants and pouring.
Showering, yeah.
Yeah.
Dhanalakshmi type of
Okay.
image. Elephants are pouring what on her? Water, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gajalakshmi, sorry. This is Gajalakshmi kind of representation.
Okay.
So, well, the elephants represent abundance. And the water also represents life.
Yeah.
Abundance of life. She has everything. All the Mahavidyas culminate in her. And this Vidya. It's the highest Vidya.
Is it okay? Is it like a sort of journey that we start from Kali and end at?
No, it's not a journey. Like we need everything.
Okay.
But if you're doing Kamala Vidya, then you don't need any of the other Vidyas. So it includes all of them.
Okay. So how do you pray to her or invoke her?
Well, you initially start by having a proper relationship with Devi. Of respect, love, and care, and she'll keep sending you gifts. You have to keep talking to her. So before I teach Sri Vidya to someone, I want them to have a good Devi Maryada. Show respect to Devi in all the forms in which she comes, which is why I'm always calling you to outdoor podcasts. It's easy for Devi to come here. Bhuvaneshwari can come, Kali can come, everyone can come. And ground is also Devi, Bhumi Devi. Don't eat after sunset. It's a disrespect of Annapurneshwari Devi. And don't expose yourself to artificial light, not even your skin, after sunset. We switch off all the lights here. In this resort, we switch off all the lights. So nobody has lights here after sunset. Even the dinner was served without lights. You saw, right?
We ate in darkness.
Yeah, but we ate in darkness. I didn't eat. Did you notice? I don't eat after dark. It doesn't matter how hungry I am, I'll only eat the next day after the sun comes.
Okay.
So if you follow these simple maryadas and expose yourself to cold, use cold water to have a bath, and don't keep wearing jackets when it gets cold, and stay barefoot outside, you'll start getting powers from the Devis. She'll start giving you small gifts. If you go to the Ganga, suddenly you'll get some gift.
Yeah.
Something will float to you. And sometimes I get a piece of wood. I got a piece of wood shaped like a foot. Devi's feet. I just got it. I didn't get it. My student Rajan got it. He brought it and gave it to me. He's also a big bhakt of Devi. So she keeps like gifting us many things. And intuition, protection, everything that I just talked about. You'll have it.
That's Mahavidyas.
You'll have it.
Okay.
We start from there, and then there is the Guru will give you a mantra, because everything starts from Shabda. The Bij mantra will create, as you keep repeating the Bij mantra, it will create what does it create? Feelings. Shabda creates space. Okay. Bij mantra starts creating space-time. And then that's the first two elements. The subtle element of space is sound.
Okay.
So when you make sound, space gets created. When you say words, space gets created.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
meet
saying,
me at the resort. Space is created suddenly in your mind.
Yeah.
Whatever you say, like let's edit these videos. Suddenly there's a new time space created.
Yeah.
The moment you say. So words lead to space.
Thought and timeline.
And space leads to feeling.
Yeah. Sure.
Sparsha. And feeling leads to wind, vayu. There'll be a movement in your body.
Movement.
When you get feeling, there'll be movement. You'll adjust yourself. You realize,
Yeah.
adjust yourself. Somebody you love comes, you'll be like this. Something you don't like comes, you go like that. So there's movement.
Yeah.
So the winds create movement.
Yeah.
And then that gives rise to light. Light changes every time we move our muscles. Our muscles, when they squeeze, they produce ultraviolet light.
Okay.
Which we can't see, but it's produced. And that creates Agni. Light gives birth to Agni. Agni is the various temperatures in our body, the fires that are going on.
Like the one that is digesting the food also.
Yeah. Jataragni. And then there is Chidagni, which is the intellectual fire in the brain. And then there's Mulagni, sexual fire. So these are the three primary Agnis in the body. So it gives rise to Agni. Agni gives rise to color.
Color.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Light gives rise to Agni, and Agni gives rise to taste.
Okay.
And Rasa.
Ras.
There are these Navras, if you read about it. They're called aesthetic.
Okay.
The taste will be a wrong translation. It's aesthetic. It gives rise to an aesthetic. And then based on that aesthetic of yours, you will be able to create water. Water gets created then.
Okay.
So water is definitely water only. It's the same thing.
This water only that we drink.
Yeah. It gets created from the aesthetic.
Then.
And we're talking here about mitochondrial water. Mitochondria creates water which is electrically charged, and that gets created according to your rasa. So if you're in Shanta rasa, a different kind of mitochondrial water is created. Inside the body, water gets created.
Yeah.
And from water comes smell. And from smell comes earth. Earth. And earth has all these 10 elements.
Okay.
Water has all of the 9 elements above. And like so on. Until sound is the first element.
Yeah.
So a guru will only teach you sound. Everything else will come inside your body. You'll have huge changes inside your body.
Okay.
Because of only sound.
So Sri Vidya is also, if I'm not wrong, the lineage which is like Mahavatar Babaji is also.
Yeah, for sure. It all comes from Devi. Devi taught it to Nandi. Nandi taught it to Agastya. Agastya taught it to Babaji. Babaji taught it to me.
Okay.
I haven't taught it to anyone yet. I'm only teaching Yoga Nidra now. I need them to get worthy of it.
Yeah.
But the teachers teaching Sri Vidya. And what are they teaching? Just some mantras. I went to one Sri Vidya guy. He made me put water on turmeric for 48 days. Nothing happened. And say one mantra like tarpan karo. And I did tarpan for 48 days. Nothing happened really. Nothing much happened. He himself is dying of diabetes. I just went and studied with all the Sri Vidya teachers, all the big ones in India. I've studied with all of them.
Okay.
And they didn't have any standards. They'll teach anyone who pays their fees. Just anyone.
Yeah.
I'm not like this, man.
Yeah.
I haven't taught Sri Vidya to any of my students yet. Because it's a serious lineage. They have to earn it. Only when the Guru is pleased with you, he'll give Sri Vidya mantras. Till then, nothing. Bij mantras, that's it.
I also had this doubt about, like what you said. That sounds true to me, because anyone who's paying the fees and get, and that can't be the real way, I'm sure. So what happens exactly? Because lately, and I was talking to Shashank about it, that very recently things have started changing very differently in my life, and there have been a lot of indications from Devi. Like, I don't want to put it out in the public. I'll cut this part. So recently there was this very, the longing of a guru, right? And I always think about that. How does it work? How does this whole process of guru and shishya works? Like, how does it happen that, okay, if let's say I come to you and I tell you that, of course, that's not the process that I come to you and tell you that be my guru, but of course there must be a process between that okay, there must be a selection criteria or something, but then the initiation part, how does the mantra go from the guru to shishya?
No, I make the students earn it. When they come in, even to be allowed in the akhada, they have to follow Devi Maryada.
Okay.
If they start following it properly, after 5 days, then we accept them as a student.
Okay.
After speaking to them about their intentions, why you want to learn. And if they have some clarity, then it's worth taking. If they don't have clarity, we'll tell them get clarity and come back. Or if they don't have health, we'll tell them here's how you can get healthy. Go get healthy and come back. Or if they got some big family problem coming on, they can't concentrate on God. So we say fix that and come back. Here's how you can fix it.
Yeah.
So we keep giving them these things for free until they get ready. We don't charge them until they're ready. When they're fully ready, then we take the dakshina and then we start teaching them.
No, but when, like you said, no, that guru gives the mantra to the shishya.
Mantra comes later. Then I give them something called Bhagyakriti.
Okay.
Write your own fortune.
Okay.
From wherever currently you are, you have to create a fortunate future. If you're successfully able to do that, you'll get your first diksha.
So is there any criteria for the mantra that is given? Because I'm sure there
first
are a lot
diksha
of
is a
mantras.
mantra.
Okay.
Every diksha is a mantra. And then when they complete my other challenges that I give them, and if they successfully complete, they'll get their second diksha. Then they come and some more challenges. It's just like a karate system, man. We keep getting progressive mantras.
But are the mantras based, like person to person, they are different?
No.
Okay.
They are same except for the last mantra, which is called Purna Diksha. When they get the full Diksha, then they'll get a specific mantra only for them.
For them, which they are supposed to chant.
That one mantra is enough. Everything will, it's the one mantra is all in one. You can use it for anything. You don't have to remember all the mantras, then you can forget everything. This one mantra will do everything, which is personally made for you.
Yeah. So that's what I'm asking. Like, how does a guru decide that, okay, this person needs to go with this mantra?
Test and decide, no.
Testing, okay.
It's not based on favoritism or anything.
Yeah, of course.
If he has a merit, he'll get it, that's all. There's no favoritism.
Okay. Okay, got it.
No distinction also, like we don't, he's not a Sanatani, we won't teach him, it's nothing like that. If he's Christian, Muslim, whatever, we'll teach him if he's sincere. Devi is for everyone.
But doesn't, like, specifically about mantra, let's say if you want to, what they call in books, the doing siddhi in a mantra, invoking a mantra, doesn't that need a lot of belief in that god or goddess? So people with other religions might not be able to do it.
You'll be surprised. They're the ones who are most focused because now they've finally found a religion that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
They're very focused. They're very dedicated.
But you need a strong belief for that. To the particular mantra or to the god?
Correct. So they've already divorced from their old beliefs when they come here. So they have, it's not about belief, it's their experience which makes them to believe, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like they're believing in advance and then, when you believe something, when you have an experience. But many people believe something because it's written in a book. That we don't encourage. Like if you experience it, then you believe it. Because that's verifiable truth. It's not a belief anymore. It's knowledge.
Knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's knowledge of God, not belief in God.
Okay. Great. Okay. Coming to, like, I want to talk about that astral thing because I'm very interested in that. But there is one thing that I recently learned, that learned as in I heard about it, that all of the avatars of Vishnu were born through a woman, like through in a womb, like he was born as Ram or as Krishna. But none of the Devi avatars were born out of a mother. They were only found, like
Correct.
Sita was found.
I was recently looking for some role models for young girls. So where I can show the like if you read Balkhand of Ramayana, it's a role model for young boys.
Okay.
If you read Hanuman's story, it's a role model for young boys. You know.
Yeah.
Krishna's childhood is also written in great detail. But there's not a single Devi Varnan, you know.
Yeah.
Devi's childhood, we don't know what it is.
Exactly.
We hear about Bala Tripura Sundari. That's the only one.
So was it a...
It's Devi in her youthful state.
Okay.
As 3 years old, 6 years old, 9 years old and 12 years old. Bala is the only one that there is some little bit of story in it.
Okay. But then when they have mentioned this, that okay, you can't see, there's no mention of it. Do you think there is a reason behind it?
Yeah, because Devi doesn't undergo childhood.
Okay.
Since she created the universe, everything comes out of her womb. So
she can't.
How can she have a childhood? She's the womb.
Yeah, that's interesting. What is the meaning of Mool Prakriti? Because it says that
this only Mool Prakriti is like the source of all.
Okay, she is the
creation.
source.
Yes. Adi Shakti, Mool Prakriti. That's what she is.
So all the avatars came like this and went also like this. They were not. They didn't had a normal death.
No, none of their death is normal. You know. They finished their work and then left. Like Shankaracharya. He finished his work at 32 years. He went.
Left.
But what a volume of work he's done.
Yeah.
No, even Osho can't compete with what he's written.
Sure. Adi Shankaracharya ji only wrote Nirvana Shatakam.
Yes. And almost everything.
Yeah, everything of course. All the strotams. Everything.
Yeah. Saundarya Lahari.
Yeah.
Mahishasura-mardini Stotram.
Yeah.
Yes. This is an amazing command of language. It's unbelievable at the age of 32. He did so much. Not only that, you come here, all of the Char Dhams have been installed by him. And everything is installed by him. There's a temple in Mysore also installed by him.
Yeah.
It is the Prasanna Meenakshi. Yeah, so he's been length and breadth of the country, all the way to Kanyakumari to Kashmir. He's installed stuff. Temples. He's my hero, man.
Yeah,
I want to make temples too.
He also left his body and now he's in a bodiless state, like Mahavatar Babaji.
He's an avatar of Shivji, so
okay,
he's back to being Shiva.
Okay, but like in the beginning, we were talking about not being dead or not like a death thing, that you don't have to die as this human form. And when you talk about if we study Nirvana Shatakam, Nirvana Shatakam is all about I'm not this body, not this mind, nor are these relations. There is nothing. Like not the taste, not the 5 elements. So then, the end it says that Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham.
Shivoham.
What
He's
does
just
that
saying
mean?
his truth. He was Shiva.
Okay. It is not for us?
No.
Oh God. Really?
Yeah. Are you an avatar of Shiva? I don't feel I'm an avatar of Shiva.
No, but it like the meaning of it has been translated into that I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not this taste, not the smell, nothing, but I am the...
अरे एक तो लिखता अपने बारे में यार, इतना लिखा सबके बारे में. So he wrote one about himself और वो भी तुम लोगों को चाहिए. उसको छोड़ दो, वो हमारे लिए नहीं है.
अच्छा, okay. हाँ. So Nirvana Shatakam is not about detachment or what?
No, he's written about himself.
Okay.
He's introduced himself. Who am I? That's how we know he's an avatar of Shivji. Because of Nirvana Shatakam, he introduced himself.
Okay. Oh, it's not for us.
No.
Okay.
Can you identify with anything written there?
No, but I have, personally, I have tried once that I tried to listen to it and visualize it. Just as a practice, just to see.
Yeah.
But when I did it, it actually...
You'll get cognitive dissonance. वही तो होगा. Imposter syndrome you'll get. Imposter syndrome.
Yeah, because...
वही तो होगा.
Okay.
हाँ.
Right. Yeah, because then after that you feel that I'm not this, I'm not that.
अरे इसके बाद बेबी थेरेसा झगड़ेगी ना, then you'll be back to not being Shiva. हाँ, तब तक तो शिवा है, illusion है, it's an illusion.
The moment you get into a fight.
हाँ.
Yeah.
Auto driver will say, I'm not coming to Bandra, then you're not Shiva anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Nirvana Shatakam is that. Okay. Okay. Got it. ठीक है. That's pretty crazy to think that, okay, this is not that. Okay. Great. Let's put some light on this because Navaratras are going on. People or a lot of people talk about Navarna mantra as a common mantra for that everyone can do. So number one, how to practice it correctly, because I also want to learn that. And what does that mean and invoke? What does it invoke?
It's a bunch of Bij mantras. Om is the Bij mantra of prana. Pranava it's called.
Yeah.
Om Aim. Aim is the mantra of what is it? Vidya. Jnana. Knowledge. Learning. Aim is the mantra of learning.
Is it M or is it Aim?
Aim.
Aim.
A-Y-M. Aim.
Aim. Okay.
Reem is again Maya Bij.
Okay.
Helps you to create Maya.
Kleem
is Kama Bij, which helps you to have good desire. Cha Munda Ye Viche. And this is Chamunda is it's a combination of, I mean, Chamundi's name comes from Chanda and Munda. That's where the name comes from.
Okay.
Munda means bald. And Chanda, I forgot what it means.
Munda means the head or?
Bald head.
Bald head.
Mundan.
Okay.
Hairless is Munda. But these are the names of two asurs.
Okay.
And it represents all the evil stuff within us.
Within us.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Chamundi kills that. But the mantra Yai is a mantra for fire, Yagna.
Yeah, you told it last time.
Chamunda Yai Viche. Viche means to tear apart.
Destroy.
Okay. Not destroy, but to split up, to break down for easier understanding maybe, or to break down for easier action. When you chunk something down, it's easier.
Yeah.
Everything's easier.
Yeah.
So we are asking Mata Chamundi to take away all your bad stuff, to help you to chunk down your life, to make it easy and fill you with desire and knowledge and Maya and prana. So it's basically that. So you just chant it will work. It is as sacred to Devi as Om Namah Shivaya is sacred to Shiva.
Yeah.
In the same way, this mantra is as sacred to Devi. It kind of pleases her when you say it. It tickles her. She's like, oh, somebody wants my knowledge, huh? Somebody wants my...
do you visualize the form, or you just...
Yeah, there are... Like, that's why when you get Diksha, you'll know the Nyasa.
Yeah.
Where does each of these bijas fall in the body? How to activate it?
Yeah.
What to visualize? And... so there's a lot of secrets in it.
Of course.
The Siddh Kunjika Stotra is an extended version of this. That's a very powerful stotram. You can use it for anything, even to kill someone. So that also is very secret. I mean, the stotram is not secret.
Yeah.
But
how to use it?
How to use it is secret. No, you don't know.
Of course.
Until it's very secret. I'll not even breathe about it on a podcast.
Yeah, of course. Sure.
Because it can be used for wrong purposes.
Yeah. Last time you also spoke about the 10th hole, which you said that it's a secret, you can't just... And somebody wrote the 10th hole is the navel.
No.
Okay.
It's not.
We are not going to know that secret.
No, it's not such a big secret. The 10th door is the Talu, which is this place at the back of your head.
Oh, okay.
Where your
Okay.
spinal cord enters your brain.
Okay.
But what to do with it?
Yeah.
What to do with this gate? That is secret.
Is it related to Khechri Mudra? I'm not sure. I'm just
No.
asking. No.
Khechri Mudra is different.
Okay.
Yeah, Khechri Mudra takes you into your brain in another pathway into your brain. But this is also a pathway into your brain, but a different pathway. So what do you do with all these pathways and all is only taught to students who earn it.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
Because they can do wrong things.
Yeah.
They can even harm themselves if they don't have proper respect for you. Then you won't be able to protect them. The students who respect me, I can be there for them. I can save them. Karmically and spiritually, I can be there to protect them.
Yeah.
Those who don't have respect for me, I can't teach. So I'm very careful, first of all, which student I take, and I test them properly. Are you hungry? Do you have respect for me? Then only I'll teach you the next level. So that has to be there.
Sure.
Otherwise, if they don't have that emotional connect to me, they cannot learn.
Yeah.
If they look at it as some kind of dry science, it's not dry science. It has the importance of a guru cannot be understated. Without my guru, I'd be nobody. And it's the same for my students.
Yeah. Okay. Towards the end of this conversation, although I have so many questions that I can just go on and on, because recently I've been into this, fascination and admiration and love for Devi, and it keeps on growing every day. Because it's like, how can one be so beautiful, so complete, so nice, all of these things, and so fierce at the same time, right?
She loves that. She loves your praise.
Yeah, and I it's just a genuine feeling.
Yes.
No, there is nothing.
No, I know it's not false, but she really admires the real admiration. She's like, okay, let me show you some more stuff so you can admire me some more.
Okay. Does the going, there is a general dialogue of going away from Maya, that you leave everything, as in whatever our materialistic desires are, you leave everything and then only you attain the highest of the...
You'll go back to Shiva then. You'll be bored. Shiva's not going to give you that much variety, and
Devi is all about...
Devi is about the juice of life. Shiva's like a dry bone without Devi, no? Without Devi, Shiva is Shava.
Yeah. Right.
So why you want to leave this Maya? Make friends with her.
Right. Yeah, makes sense.
You're living in her world, so shut up and respect her, and she'll respect you back.
Right. And when, of course, we spoke about chakras last time, but about the nature of the energy centers, from the base to the Sahasrara, Mool chakra to the Sahasrara. Does Devi has different forms for this also? Is there an explanation for this? That, okay, for Mool there is my reproductive, sexual or security. And for my Sahasrara, there must be something related to...
many things are there, man. 96 tattvas are all intertwined into the chakras. So there are lots of representations. This Mool security, that this is from American guesswork. It is not written in our books.
Okay.
But if you read and if you slowly contemplate, there are clues in every tantra. Every great tantra teacher has written something. You have to read all that and you'll see there's a lot of depth to everything. It's not so simple.
Okay. For example, let's talk about Mool Chakra. So which form of Devi would represent? Or maybe sitting there?
Well, Kundalini is there. She's a form of Devi.
Okay.
The most unawakened form of Devi. She's totally caught in the Maya.
Okay.
Sleeping. So she needs to be awakened and sent up.
And then it rises towards awareness.
But it's basically sexual energy. And it's your relationship with that. The state of your Mooladhar is that. So it's a Mool Adhar. Sexual energy is the Mool and the Adhar.
Okay.
It's the root and it's also the base of anything in life.
Yeah.
So that's what it means.
Okay.
Yes, and it's all Devi. You can think of the chakras as Devi's changing rooms as she goes to meet Shiva. She keeps changing into different forms. Even Navratri is about that.
Yeah.
In the final stage, she says to Shiva, I want to be inside you. And he says, if you want to be inside me, you have to be inside me as my siddhis.
Okay.
So she gets into Shiva as her siddhis and she becomes Ardhanari.
So these 9 days represent
the journey of the Kundalini from the first Brahmacharini Ma to all the way to...
Can you explain it a little bit?
Yeah, but so basically she starts as Brahmachari.
Brahmacharini Ma, that
Yeah,
we call.
yeah.
Okay.
When she's hungry for Shiva, that is the Kundalini.
Hmm.
And finally she gets Shiva and then she gets, she has children, she becomes Kandamata. And then she gets disillusioned with the whole thing. And she says, I don't enjoy being away from you. I'm here with you, I'm your wife, I have your children, but I don't want to be away from you. I want to be in you. That's her 9th stage, where she reaches here.
Okay.
I mean, over here, there's a chakra above your head. It's called Akasha Chakra. So she reaches Akasha Chakra. She becomes the final Mata, Ma Siddhidatri.
Okay. After that, there is only Shiva. Because now they have merged.
After that, there is Ardhanari.
Yeah. Like the
Shiva has changed forever when Devi enters him.
Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. Is there a way or understanding in Tantra or in Bhagavatam or any Puran that we can take that form of Ardhanareshwar in our lives?
Yeah, you can. You'll not physically change outside.
Yeah.
A lot of people are experiencing physical outside changes. Like a few Swamis have started wearing saris, etc. So they are experiencing that. But that's not necessary because even I have experienced this. And I have the sensitivity of a woman and the intuition of a woman. And I also have the orgasmic capacity of a woman.
Okay.
So there are many things that I have. I have male capacity as well, female capacity as well. It's because of sadhana. When the Kundalini reaches there, even women will get that capacity.
So you have both.
Yeah. Every siddha is an ardhanari.
So
I'm not talking about sexual preference. I'm not gay. I'm not bi or something. That's not what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean the qualities that we admire in women.
Yeah.
We can come to a man in a man's body also.
Yeah. That feeling of compassion.
Yeah. Compassion, care, all that can come inside a man as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And all of this is possible only through yoga.
Yeah. Years of yoga. Ek din mein nahi hoga.
Does this also mean, does this also mean that, like I have this question that what people talk about Ida Pingala Sushumna all the time. And they call it, left nostril, right nostril, the breath and all of that. But what exactly does it mean that my Sushumna is activated? Is this the same thing?
Sushumna activation is called Shakti Chalana.
Okay.
And it's the widening of the Sushumna from the width of a hair to around 2 inches, 4 fingers wide.
In physical sense?
Yeah, this wide it will become.
Okay.
Yeah, in a physical sense. That is called Shakti Chalana. That's the activation of Sushumna. So now it's ready to receive Kundalini.
Oh, okay.
Because Kundalini needs a lot of space to move to her changing rooms, change her dress and get ready for Shiva in various ways.
And that is also possible after years of practice.
Yeah.
Not by doing this.
It happens, you can see. Some of my students are having some awakenings. But this Shakti Chalana is to be done under the guidance of a guru. I had started with some of my students, but then it got hectic. So it needs a lot of time.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't have time to teach anyone Kundalini Yoga. But once my students start teaching, I'll have time. Someone has to do my work, then I can do this work.
Okay. Got it. Ending the session here. Thank you so much, Guruji. It was, again, it was a pleasure sitting next to you, asking you questions.
Different mood today because
Devi. Different mood today. Definitely. Today it was all about Devi.
Yeah.
And I would it was such a perfect time to talk about her. And perfect place to talk about her.
Divine
perfect person to talk about her too. Definitely. And because of the recent change in my life, I wanted to do this because I also want to understand more about that. Yeah. So thank you so much again for your time, for your words, for your energy. And thank you so much.
You're welcome.